Welcome to Darren Daily On Demand, your most trusted resource to help you become better every day. Here's your success mentor, Darren Hardy.
In 1932, in his first inaugural address, Franklin D. Roosevelt famously said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." This is a far more profound idea than you might first give it credit. I think it was Mr. Bacon who said it first, Sir Francis Bacon, that is, in an essay back in the 1500s when he wrote, "Nothing is terrible except fear itself." You see, it's not the fear you fear. We've already discussed there's no such thing as fear. Fear is an illusion, one you make up in your mind. So it really isn't the fear of fear you fear. FDR goes on to say in that inaugural address, "Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror is paralyzing the needed efforts to convert retreat into advance." And that is true for you in your life every time you feel fear and let it grip you. The nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror is paralyzing you and the efforts you need to make the advance and are being spent instead on your retreat, meaning hunkering to your fear. So here is the great conundrum of it all. It is not the actual act that gives you fear. The act of making a phone call, the act of standing in front of a group of people and making a speech, the act of itself is itself not the cause of fear. It is the fear of the fear, meaning the anticipation of the act that is the thing you fear. You know the famous experiment done by University of Massachusetts professor Seymour Epstein in his 1960s fear study. He experimented with something most find terrifying. He took novices, put them in a plane, and then pushed them out. So before doing so, he fitted them with a heart rate monitor that measured their pulses as the plane climbed toward its release point. What he found, he expected. While still safe inside the plane, a jumper's heart rate got faster and faster as the plane ascended. The higher the plane went, the higher the anxiety. That part was expected. What he didn't expect to find, however, was that once they were thrown out the door of the plane and started hurling towards the earth with only a few thin cords of a glorified bedsheet to keep them from impending doom, their heart rates declined dramatically, and they admitted to quite enjoying themselves. The most stressful part of the entire experience, in other words, was the illusion of how frightening the event would be, or the anticipation of fear. Once the reality of the event took over, the fear vanished. This pre-fear is what happens before you pick up the phone, before you go on stage, before you walk across the room to introduce yourself to a stranger. It is the anticipation of fear kicking in, your ancient mind's grand illusion. Once you're engaged in the activity, your brain realizes that you are not toe-to-toe with a predator. This is not a primitive mortal threat that you feared it would be. It turns off the fear response. So, what's the takeaway here? That the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Thus remember what Bacon said, "Nothing is terrible." Let's end it there. Really, nothing is terrible. Except one thing. What's that one thing? Yeah, fear. So stop it. It's an illusion. You're making it up. While danger is real, fear is a choice. Let me say that again for your notes. Fear is not real. It is the product of thoughts that you create. While danger is real, fear is a choice. So as General Patton said, when you've collected all the facts, made your decision, meaning you've discerned that there is no real danger, turn off all your fears and go ahead. Just remember, it's the nameless, unreasoning, unjustified fear that is paralyzing the needed efforts needed to advance your life.